Cairn India's board has approved the buyback of equity shares. Remember, this is one information that ET now gave you first, and now it's out and it's official, and they will be seeking the shareholders' approval for the buyback. Of course, that is one of the processes that has to be ready. But then we are also waiting for more details to come out on what is the price, and also remember what is the quantum, because remember, Cairn India is one company which was bought out in 2007 by Vedanta Group, and right now it has Cairn Energy PLC still holds about 10% stake in the company. So that is something that we are waiting for, and buyback is approved at 335 rupees per share, Ajay.
Well, Nisha, I would like to start by saying that market actually knows it all. And a day ahead of the final board meet, the way stock price of Cairn India was trading through the day, if you pull up the intraday graph, actually a lot of that was already in the price that perhaps the buyback price would not be very sweet compared to the current market price or the last traded price. So the stock price has closed just around between a 10 rupee range, and what the announcement is that up to a maximum of 335. So it's not very juicy. Doesn't merit any buying into Cairn India as a trader or a market participant just to play the buyback game. In fact, it is just a shade below $1 billion, around 5,000, just upwards of 5,000 crore is the quantum which was more or less reported. But the only beneficiaries of this particular buyback seem to be the large shareholders, which includes promoters as well as Cairn PLC, which has 10%, and some of the funds. So by the looks of it, the share price will actually not be excited in trade when we open for trade tomorrow.
Right, Ajay, from the looks of it, this is not a very aggressive pricing for buyback. So quantum is something that we are waiting for, if you have those details, because the general perception was that they would like to buy out the 10.3% stake that Cairn PLC has and give them an exit from the company that they had been looking for a long time. So do you have a sense on the quantum that is given? And obviously the pricing didn't have to be so aggressive, because Cairn PLC is the only one which is probably given an exit through this buyback, Ajay.
Nisha, it is just flashing on the screen. 5,700 crore is the total amount which, out of the 18,000 crore which is sitting on Cairn India books will be utilized. Remember, this buyback will be panning out several months, so it's not something which will be one event, but a process. Also, at 335, if you take into account roughly what kind of shares which would be bought back over that period of time, so 17 crore shares. On a total equity size of around 191 crore shares, 17 crore shares will be absorbed over a period of time during the buyback, and hence some boost, to the earnings per share. But quickly, I'll just like to, talk about the point which you just raised, that 10% of the equity which is held by Cairn PLC still, not all of that will be, taken into this buyback. Some part of Cairn PLC, if they choose to, participate in this buyback, promoters, funds which are holding it, and common public. So not all of that will get absorbed, but surely 5,700 crore is a large amount for a buyback. Perhaps only second to Reliance's 9,000 crore, if my memory gets me right.